Hey, great to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks. It is the Joe Pag Show. Great radio stations across the land. iHeartRadio, Newsmax TV as well. Glad to have you along for the ride. Carrie, I can't identify this person.
Mm-hmm.
Because then this person would be known.
Okay.
But just got a tip from the tipster. I'm allowed to say the tipster.
Okay.
That's what I can call him.
Okay.
The tipster says there was some connection, I guess, made in a book about the Bush family and the Clinton family and the CIA and Arkansas and drugs and something else. Some book alleges some long-standing connection between the Clintons and the Bushes. Which, again, if that's true, and now the tipster knows a lot. I don't know.
Really?
This is somebody in the know. I cannot say who the person is. All right? But having said that, the tipster says I should read this certain book. And I'm going to look into it. Now, I'm going to see what the tipster says. Hold on. It is The Clintons' War on Women is the name of the book. And this is a valued source. I will never expose them. But that's what I'm saying. The tipster says maybe look into that. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. If you're wondering why we're talking about that, a Kennedy says that she was told by a Bush that he's going to vote for Clinton. And again, it just seems completely nuts to me. I think the caller from Minnesota made a lot of sense until he didn't, if that makes any sense. But the caller from Minnesota made a lot of sense until he didn't, about how, well, it's establishment supporting establishment against non-establishment. And that does kind of make sense. I do see that. And then he went off the deep end and said some crap he's going to vote for Gary Johnson or something. I don't know. Which completely blew me out of the water. 1 hour from now on the radio show, it'll be Eric Trump, his own self, the son of Donald Trump. And we talk about a lot. We have to talk a lot about the terrorism in New York City, in New Jersey, in Minnesota. We're going to talk all about that and how his dad's message is still make America great again, but it's also make America safe again. It's an interesting conversation with Eric Trump. Make sure you stick around for that. In the meantime, over the weekend, there was video released of a man, and we're going to, Carrie, you'll have the whole story for us in a second. And by the way, if you don't know who Carrie is, she's my news anchor and general pain in my ass. But can I say that on TV? Can I say the A word?
Yeah, well, you just
I did.
Usually it's pain in the neck, but...
Nah, not usually. Sometimes it's pain in the neck, depending on how you are. You know what's interesting about that? I put a post on Facebook today about what's coming up in the program. And a woman commented that I'm a pig and I treat women horribly. Now, let's just examine that. Ouch. Let's examine that for a second. First of all, and she's in Saginaw, Michigan. We love WSGW. I've got a house up in that area. My wife was born in Saginaw. My daughter was born in Lansing. So, I mean, we've got a lot of connections in Michigan. In fact, and I can't tell you where yet, we'll have our 12th station in Michigan soon.
Ooh, oh wow, exciting.
Yeah. 12th in Michigan soon and 3rd in Florida soon. So we're moving on up. Awesome. like the Jeffersons. So I love it. I've got 3 sisters and a mother. I've got 5 daughters and a wife. And they're all treated like gold. Even you would have to admit, I treat these people like gold.
You do, yes.
I am the biggest supporter of women. I am a huge supporter of yours, and I think you know that.
I do know that,
What she doesn't get is what we do on this show yet. And she will. It's going to have to click, though. She's going to have to go, now I get it. Carrie really is the jerk, and Pags is actually the cool one.
No.
So you don't think she'll come to that realization at all?
About that.
You don't think that'll happen?
You are clearly the jerk.
All right, so maybe it won't go that far. But understand what we do. We all really do like each other a lot, but I have to give her a hard time because she's always keeping me in line. That's what it is. If you don't get that yet, I told you, let it simmer, let it marinate for a couple of weeks, and then you're going to be going, shut up, Pags is on! Eventually, that'll be what you do. All right? So just
say there's 7 to 10 days.
Ride the wave. Is it 7 to 10 now? Have we whittled it down?
Let's do 7 to 10 because she's already been listening maybe for a little bit, but she still doesn't get it yet. So.
This story, were you made aware of this over the weekend? I had no idea this had even happened.
I did know, yes. And I've seen the video actually during the break.
Okay, so did you see the overhead and from the ground?
And from the ground.
Do you know why the man got shot?
I do not.
Okay. If you would, give us the story out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
By the way, between you and me, we're working on hopefully getting something there in Tulsa as well.
Ooh, that's
But
good.
give us the story out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Fill us in, and then let's talk about this. Go ahead.
All right, this is from KTUL. Tulsa police are responding to reports Tuesday that investigators found drugs in Terrence Crutcher's SUV after he was fatally shot by an officer Friday night. According to a source in the Tulsa Police Department, investigators found a substance in Crutcher's vehicle that field tested positive for PCP, a strong mind-altering drug often linked to aggressive behavior. And the substance has yet to undergo laboratory testing to confirm it is a drug. A TPD spokesperson says if anything was found in Crutcher's SUV, it must be tested by a toxicologist to determine the exact substance. Crutcher's family called a news conference Tuesday afternoon to address what they say is misinformation about the September 16th shooting. Crutcher's family says his vehicle was stalled in the middle of the road near East 36th Street North and North Lewis Avenue when an officer arrived. After the shooting, a police spokesperson initially said Crutcher was reaching into his window, disobeying officers' commands when he was shot. On Monday, police released audio and video from the shooting, which the family's attorney, Benjamin Crump, says was enhanced and reviewed frame by frame. Crump says the enhanced video proves Crutcher never reached into the SUV because the window was up and blood covered the glass after he was shot. Another family attorney, Melvin Hall, says there was no threat posed to the officers and they were not in danger. The proper thing to do, Hall says, was to maintain a perimeter and have a discussion with Crutcher, but to use force, especially lethal force, was not justified or warranted. Crutcher's family, after first reviewing the video, called immediately for charges to be filed against Officer Betty Shelby, who fired the shot. Crutcher had no weapon on his person or in his vehicle when he was shot, says Chief Chuck Gordon, who called video of the shooting disturbing and very difficult to watch.
Right.
Shelby's on paid administrative leave while Tulsa police investigate the shooting.
Okay, so first and foremost, if the name Benjamin Crump sounds familiar, a couple of things. He was the attorney for the family of Michael Brown afterwards, who said Michael Brown had his hands up, was on his knees, and was shot execution style. He said that to me on this show as I interviewed Benjamin Crump. He and I had a fine interview, but I was giving him fact, and he was giving me what they wanted us to believe. In fact, they hired Dr. Bodden to go to Ferguson and do another autopsy or review the autopsy that was done, and they thought it would prove that Michael Brown was either shot in the top of the head or he was shot in his back as he ran away. All of that was disproved. In fact, the Department of Justice proved that Officer Darren Wilson's story was true. Having said that, the people who listen to this program, and more as you watch the program, you'll know that I feel it's one of my jobs in life to make sure everybody's treated equally, equal opportunity for everybody, and that we kill racism. I feel my job is to treat you like my brother or my sister in this human experience until you treat me differently. And I don't care what you look like. We can celebrate different cultures and backgrounds, races and ethnicities, but it doesn't mean that I'm better than you or you're better than me or anything in between. You know that. I don't need to say that again. Those of you who listen know that to be true. I mean, it's almost to the point of it's a fault with me. I'm so completely even-handed, and I will fight for equal justice, equal opportunity, and so on. In the case of Michael Brown, he caused his own death. He attacked a police officer. In the case of Walter Scott in South Carolina, he was shot in the back running away from a police officer who then claimed he had a taser or something on him, and there was no proof of that. That man stands trial. He will stand trial for first-degree murder. In this case, I can only use the eyeballs God gave me, and I can only see the video for what it is. And you've got video from a dash cam on ground level, on street level. You've got video from a helicopter up top. I don't know what led to them all being there other than the family says this man's truck or van or something was broken down in the middle of a road in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's all I know. Other than that, I don't know anything about Terrence Crutcher, never heard his name before yesterday. I do know this. He's definitely walking away from the police officers. I also know this. He definitely has his hands up over his head. Now, what happens next is what's unclear. And the reason why it's unclear is on ground level, you've got, how many cops, is it 4 or 5 police officers that are surrounding him?
At least 4, yeah.
So you can't really see what he's doing other than, right. I'm just going to tell you what it looks like to me. And by all means, call me and tell me I'm stupid if you think I'm misseeing it. But it looks to me like he's got his hands up, leans against his own vehicle with his hands up over his head. It appears to me that he's leaning up against the vehicle like you might see in any movie, a cop drama. You might see on the show Cops on Saturday night. He appears to be taking the position, for lack of a better term. Carrie, is that what you see?
Yes. I mean, his hands are clearly up.
Right. And the next thing I hear is, now we've got audio from the helicopter people, and I will post this over on my Facebook page and on my Twitter. It's not up there yet, but I'll post it on there for you to go and take a look at yourself. You can go look at the video yourself. You can read the story yourself. I'll do that momentarily. JoePags.com, JoePags.com, and click on Facebook or Twitter. He appears to me, I don't know the situation. Look, if you're a cop, you know I support you. You know that I've always supported police officers. I support law enforcement, and I think that these protests, many of them, are fallacious and stupid. But there's something wrong with this one. Something wrong here. To me, the guy's got his hands up. He's up against it. Now you hear somebody say, and I'm not sure if it's a ground cop or somebody in a helicopter says, they're probably going to tase him. They're going to tase him. Boy, what does the one cop say?
He goes from the helicopter.
He looks like a mean one or something like that. Makes some comment about what he thinks the guy looks like. And then, that's it. They tased him and he goes down. Almost immediately, because it looks like he was tased. Almost immediately, the cop who shot him goes, shots fired, and then calls for more backup or something. Now, I don't know what makes her shoot him. What we know is they're in the middle of the street for some reason. He's walking away from them, but slowly, almost as if he's under control, arms up. He leans against the vehicle. Arms are still up, appears to take the position. Next thing I know, he's shot and he's dead on the street. I don't know why we're there. So that's all I can tell from the video we see. If you're seeing something different in the video, I'll hear you. But if you see something different in the video because your skin tone is different, or your ethnicity is different, or your race is different, check yourself. Listen to what I just said. I'm Whitey McWhite. Well, actually, I'm Southern Italian, so I'm not that white. But I'm a guy who doesn't see his race nor the race of those who are surrounding him or who shot him. What matters to me is the truth. Why is this man no longer alive? And I can't come to a good answer. And the idea that today suddenly, well, there was PCP inside the truck. Okay. Even if he was on PCP, if he's doing what it looks like to me he's doing, I still don't see a reason why he's no longer alive. Carrie, have I described what's on that video sufficiently, do you think?
Yes, I believe you
I'm not adding or taking anything away. That's what we see in the video.
That's what I see, yeah.
Okay. 1-800-383-9624, JoePags.com. Coming right back.